Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to What Women Want with Judy Goss, only on LA Talk Radio.
Hello, everyone out there, and thank you for tuning in. I'm Judy Goss, and welcome to What Women Want Talk Radio. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I have a little bit of a sinus infection this evening, so I'm really not trying to impersonate a Kathleen Turner or Demi Moore or anybody like that in a bad way. I'm just me, and I'm just a little under the weather tonight, but I was so excited about our show, Power Up Your Presence, and that I'm happy to say, you know, we have the best guests on this evening, and we've been on the air for over 2 years, and we've hit way over 500,000 downloads during this time. So I'm proud to say that we're on LA Talk Radio's website, archives, iTunes, and Google Play. So the word has really gotten out about our show. And I want to thank you, all of my listeners, because I wouldn't have a show without you. And I just hear a little bit of background, I think, on one of the guests' phones. So if you guys could just mute your phones until you come on, that would be terrific. So we've had incredible people like Marsha Clark, 5-time Olympian Jackie Edwards, Stacey Rose from HBO's hit show Ballers, starring The Rock. Dr. Kristin Carlson's been on recently, author of Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, the publisher of Chicken Soup for the Soul, Amy Newmark, and we're rocking out this show, and it's just as exciting tonight. We have TV personality and the founder of Fab Mom, Jill Simonian, on the show for you moms out there that need help feeling more relevant, beautiful, confident. I think I really need this tonight, whether it's physical or mental. Jill's got the answer for you. Now, I wish I had known her after I had my twins, because boy, was that a head trip. And celebrity makeup artist Ashlee Glazer, who we're bringing on next, and she's going to give us some backstage insight of not only the new trends in makeup, but stories of her experiences on the red carpet and so much more. It's all about powering up your presence. And I'd like to welcome back my co-host tonight, actress and producer Kristin West. Hi, Kristin.
Hi, Judy. I'm so glad to have you back. We missed you a lot last week, and I'm so glad to share some airspace with you tonight.
Oh my gosh, what a great show. I was smiling from my hotel room listening to you. I was like,
well, we had amazing guests. They were amazing.
Oh, everybody on the show, and you were just awesome. So I want to tell a little bit about you first. You are an award-winning actress, I'm proud to say, and producer, and you're the winner of a Best Actress Award for the film Seeking Valentina. You were nominated for Best Actress and the Mary Austin Award for Female Producers. Kicking butt out there. And you won the Indie Spirit Award recently at the Idlewild International Film Festival. You're a graduate of the University of Texas with a degree in radio, TV, and film. An awesome actress, producer, and now a radio show host. Kristin, you do it all.
I try my best. that's the key.
Well, you know what? Best. You do it all, and you do everything so well. So I'm just proud to have you as part of the show. And Power Up Your Presence is that show tonight, and I discovered a way to do that on the go with your makeup in a beautiful clutch, and your makeup won't slide around. So yes, you heard me right. It's called Face in a Case by Face is Beautiful. Now, this is a gorgeous clutch that doubles as a makeup case that actually holds your makeup in place with magnets. Okay, Fab Mom might like this because this is convenient. And a wallet on the other side, so you won't be scrambling for your makeup in your bag. One side is magnetic to hold all of the vegan-free cosmetics from Face is Beautiful, which includes eyeshadow, brushes, bronzer, lip gloss, mascara, and the other side holds your money and credit cards, and it's all wrapped in this gorgeous clutch that you could actually wear to a black tie event if you wanted to. So it's brilliant. Go check it out at facesbeautiful.com. Okay, for those of you who are my longtime listeners and hear this every single show, here's my background anyway in a nutshell for you. In addition to radio, I am a TV host, a journalist, entrepreneur, and a published author for St. Martin's Press. My background comes from the fashion and publishing worlds, from international high fashion model with Ford New York to magazine editor for both Cosmopolitan and More magazines. And after that, a TV correspondent for Better TV. I hosted my own show, I'm Better, about female entrepreneurs. And I'm a regular contributor on NBC Connecticut and Fox New York. I'm the new dining diva, I call myself, on Fox's new lifestyle show that airs every Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. I am also a St. Martin's Press published author, a writer for New York Lifestyles magazine, and the founder of a nationwide inspirational networking company called What Women Want. How about that? Same as the show, with 20 chapters nationwide. So we just opened 3 new chapters in Texas, Tennessee, and Georgia. And to top it all off, I am the proud mama of 12-year-old twin girls and happily married. Power up your presence. Now, I feel like we can always use tips on how to feel better. I sure as heck can tonight. And how to look better. And our experts today can certainly tell us how to do that. Right, Kristin?
Certainly. And I'm actually in need of that, too. I need it for my cat. My cat had his first audition last week, because sometimes pets go on auditions. And I was like, Mercury, can you maybe give it a little more oomph like you have normally at the house?
I know. It's like, I feel like every time I turn around, all of a sudden you're feeling so great about yourself. And then it's like, wait a minute, this is sagging, or that's, my circles under my eyes are coming up, or something's happening. And I just feel like I need to take care of myself better. And certainly tonight, I sound like I need to take care of myself better, right? So I'm excited to introduce Jill Simonian. She's the author of The Fab Mom's Guide, How to Get Over the Bump and Bounce Back Fast After Baby, which is really hard to do, I think. I had 2 at a time, so I don't know. A motivating resilience building guide for the first-time moms. Jill is also the parenting lifestyle contributor for CBS Los Angeles News. Segments airing every Wednesday at 5 p.m. and Friday mornings, too, at 6:45 a.m. Her personal blog is thefabmom.com, and I got to tell you, it's entertaining, that one, and informative. Welcome to the show, Jill.
Hi, Judy. Nice to meet you. I'm smiling right now because I'm so excited to talk to you. And I'm really excited to have a conversation.
Oh my gosh, I'm really excited to have you. It's funny because I was looking over your blog and your website, and I was trying to figure out what the first question I should ask you is. Where do I start with this girl?
You're so funny. I got giddy when you introduced it, which is why I turned into a giddy teen right there, because I thought, oh my gosh, she likes it. She really likes it.
I do. Are you kidding me? It's like how to stop yelling at your kids, how to do this, how to do that. I'm like, yeah, I feel like you're taking the traditional kind of baby center type, and I don't want to compare because I know you write for baby center too, but I feel like you're taking a traditional website like that and turning it into different perspectives that us moms really do want answers for.
Yes. Well, the thing, it's funny because everyone hears, I'll tell you, when I first started blogging, I started my site back in 2011. And when I was looking for the domain name, thefabmom.com was literally the only available one I can find. And I thought, oh, I could go with that. I could talk about fashion and fun stuff after having babies. And then after about a year, Fab sort of evolved and morphed into this acronym for Focused After Babies. And it was like the whole, like the light bulb, aha, oh my gosh, this is what I want to talk about, is staying resilient after we have kids and we go through that whole lifestyle change of, oh, I was the career woman and now I'm the mother and I want both or a little or part of, one of each or whatever. But it's focused after babies. And so everything is told through sort of my perspective and what I'm trying to learn and how I'm trying to bounce back every single day to stay motivated as a woman.
So that's really what the whole website blog is about, is teaching moms how to live a better life in every way, really. So a lot of our listeners, well, maybe they have, who knows? But I certainly read your story of, what inspired you, and you had the baby and this baby and that baby. But to kind of tell us from the beginning, when did you go from, freaked out to Fab Mom? I know you were freaked out when you had your first baby.
Oh my God, Judy, I was so freaked out, pathetically freaked out. And I look back on that time, literally, in the book, I talk about, like I said, the book is for first-time moms, but in the book I talk about how the first time I broke the news to my husband about we were pregnant, I dropped this huge F-bomb, like, get the F in here, I'm freaked out. Because I knew that becoming a mom changes someone, for the better, obviously, but there's a lot of little nuances and, and it's a big lifestyle change. And so I was freaked out for my entire first pregnancy. And, after, it wasn't until like the last few weeks, literally, I'm not joking, like the last few weeks of my pregnancy, I thought, okay, I'm not the first person to have a baby here. Hello, millions of women have, this is not a big deal. So I got a little bit more grounded. And then when my daughter was born, my first daughter was born, I just took to the motherhood thing like, okay, this is going to be my job. This is my job right now. And it was a little difficult for me to sort of emotionally and mentally adjust, because I had been working full time and television, and I was an entertainment reporter, and it's like I went from this fast paced life to the new mom life, which is, as we know, so different.
Yeah, to a bloated face on set, and having to pee every 5 minutes and everything else.
Yes.
So let's get honest here. Right? You said it makes you better. I don't know about that. As far as in some ways,
I think it does.
I feel more cranky and more, short-tempered, and I feel like, I don't know if I'm a better person. I definitely feel like a different person, and not quite in the way that I would like to be. So and your your blog like turns my perspective around, because it tells me how to stop yelling at your kids, and things like that help me. But not all the things are for the better, I feel like.
Well, yes, and I totally get you, because I'm the mom that with like you, I have the short temper, and I find myself going from 0 to 100, where I say something calmly 3 times, and then I just yell, and then my kids are like, "Why are you yelling?" So I am exactly like that. I am messy. I will yell. I will try one thing. It doesn't work. I'm like everybody else. But the reason why I say it makes you better is because it makes us stronger from the inside to challenge ourselves, to try and be more resilient in the everyday things that come flying at us. It's like, as a single woman with, working without kids and having freedom and all that wonderful stuff, you're not required. I mean, at least me, I look back at how my life was before kids, and I was not required on a daily basis to be resilient or to come back from being disappointed about something, or being frustrated about, something, or being challenged about something. You can't get your kid to do X, Y, Z. Every single day with moms, we're challenged to do something. It tests our character. It tests our patience. We're constantly going through these daily tests. And so that's why I say we become better, because we're required to be stronger and work through these challenges in a multitasking way than we were required to before kids. So that's why I say better.
Okay, that's a good point. I was going to say challenge is being So challenge is being the key word there. It's like every time I turn around, I'm like, really? Like, what else is going to happen? My twins are 12 now, so they're moving into teenhood and everything else, which is great. I love it. I actually am a mom that excuse me, that likes my children to get older. I like hanging out with them. I can't wait to go out and have drinks with them. Like everybody's like, it goes so fast.
Oh, no. I get you.
It goes fast.
No,
really
it's not bad. It's not bad. In fact, last Friday night, no joke, I took my daughters with me to an event. There was this, we're in LA, and so there was this pre-Oscars beauty lounge, and they said, bring the kids, and it was for little golden books, and I posted about it on my Instagram, and we had a great time. But I took them out to dinner, and I usually don't keep them up that late because they're 6 and almost 5. But I said, you know what? Forget it. It's Friday night. I'm going to take you to the little girls. We're going to go to Cheesecake Factory. We're going to have a dinner. I sat there and now, I don't know, maybe this is going to show how fat I am, but I had the best time with my girls, because they were at that age where they're telling me stories and they're telling me about their day and their friends. And at one point we just started giggling, and they started giggling, and then I started giggling, and I thought, these are my girlfriends. Now, if that's a great thing, if that's a sad thing, it's like I'm sitting with a 6 and a 5-year-old and I'm thinking, I'm having a great time. But it's true. I think it's important to be able to enjoy your kids. And I am, like you, enjoying them growing up, because each stage is different. And it's fun. It's what it should be.
So I saw one of your blog posts that was, I don't let my kids watch me on TV. Why is that?
Yes, because I'm very, and maybe this is a mom of girls thing. I don't know. I'll let them watch things here and there, but I don't want them to feel like and this is so, it's like, I hesitate to say this, but I don't want them to feel like, oh, mommy's on TV, mommy's the, like star in our house, mommy's the this, mommy that, because I think I hate to be sexist, but with girls and with women, I want to make sure that they feel like they're the ones who are the stars in the family. And I don't know. I've had a lot of, reporter friends of mine disagree with me and say, you are crazy. Everyone should celebrate each other's successes and goals. And, I totally agree with that. And they do know what I do when I show them things. But I always want to make sure that I'm the mom who's sort of in the background pushing their goals and dreams first. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's nice. I'm like, look, watch me with Ernie and Astis on TV. Oh my God, look, you guys were backstage and then you met him, remember?
Well, no, and I do that
I'm
too.
a little different, but they're older, so I don't know.
No, but they're older, and I hate, like I said, I hate to pull this whole gender sexist thing, but like with women, I want to make sure, I don't know, women have complicated relationships, I think. And it's, as supportive as women can be of each other, there's also like a competition factor there. And I never want, like, if I put one of my daughters on TV with me, if I use her in a segment, I don't want the other one to feel like, oh, I didn't choose her. Or if I use the other daughter, I don't want the other one to feel like, oh, why did she pick her and not me this time? It's I'm trying to navigate the competition woman-female thing. Is that wrong to admit? Is that wrong to say?
And that's probably smart.
I don't know.
But
I don't know if it's smart or stupid. I don't know.
I know, right? It's like we all do the best we can do, right? I mean, it's all we can, that's all it comes down to. And I feel like that's kind of one of the points of your blog too, right?
Yeah, it is. It's all you can do. The whole fab thing. It's like focused after babies. Just if you can stay focused, to stay on the path and to keep on going no matter what comes flying at you, I think you've won.
Yeah, no, so I feel like a lot of the advice actually can be, it sounds like someone's calling. I feel like a lot of
me? No.
Yeah.
I'm in an office at CBS right now. I'm like hiding out in an office at CBS. So
funny. Oh my gosh, I've had a couple of people do that too. It's funny. They're like, I'm in between segments. Okay, let's go. But I feel like a lot of your advice, not like, how do you stop yelling at the kids, but a lot of your advice really apply to, people of all ages, not just moms, right?
I think so. That's interesting you say that, because I always think, no one really relates unless they have kids, but I appreciate you saying that. I think the whole message of staying, not being intimidated by the challenges that come at you, I think that does resonate with everybody. And I've actually, it's really funny. A lot of my husband's friends who are not married or don't have kids say that they really enjoy reading my blog and that they want to read the book when it comes out. And I'm like, what? You're not going to get, what are you talking about? It's about, the book's for pregnant women, first time. They go, no, I want to read it. So there is something to that, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, talking about a bumpy life, could be, advice for everybody. So when's your book coming out? Let's talk about that.
Okay, so it's coming out April 4th. It's on Amazon and Barnes & Noble now for pre-sale. But thank you. I am free. I mean, you're an author. You've been there, done that. This is the first time I've done this. And I've always wanted to write a book. Since college, I wanted to write a book, and I didn't know what it was going to be about. And then the past few years with, the Fab Mom blog and then the Fab Mom segments that are on Channel 2 here in Los Angeles, I thought, okay, if I'm going to do a book, like, this is what it's going to be about. It's going to be about bouncing back in mind and spirit, because that's, what my thing is. That's what my message is on a day-to-day basis. So it's the hardest thing I've ever done. And I've been like dragged through the gutter, like when it comes to career. But writing it is one thing, but what I'm finding is I call it like, so I wrote the baby, so I like birthed the baby. I birthed the book. Great. The whole afterbirth of this book thing is crazy. Like like you find yourself nervous about it. You find yourself obsessing about it. How's it going to do? Are people going to like it? You worry about whether or not anyone's going to want to read it. It's really, I have been challenged these last few months to like stick to my own message and advice about staying resilient and not letting things get you down or bother you so much.
Yeah, no, it is like having a third baby, really. It's wild, birthing a book. I mean, there's actually a woman that has a company called Birth That Book. I think she's a ghostwriter. But it really is all the nuances that go into it and all of the things that you don't realize that authors go through when they write a book, and you're going to go through it too after it releases, and going to book signings and having all the things, and the wonderful things that happen after that. But putting that book out is incredible.
Yeah, no, and I'm thrilled and I'm so thankful, but at the same time, I'm petrified. And people are like, why are you so, what difference does it make? I go, I don't know. It gets under your skin. I think maybe because it's so personal, because you're writing from, it's, you're open. You're like naked and wide out, wide open and out there for people to judge and everything.
Yeah, Kristin, I'm sure, Kristin, you've had this happen with you and your films, right? You put something out there and it's like, oh my God, what did I just do?
I'll have to tell you, the first time I ever did a play, directed a play, I had the writer next to me, and the minute the curtain opened, because you have no control after that curtain opened, I clutched his hand and he clutched mine, and we both looked at each other like we were going to die. It was like that. And the same is true of a film premiere. And I have to tell you, Jill, when I was looking over your blog and getting acquainted with you and your work, I think one of the biggest things I noticed is that you are very comfortable letting us know about your failures and how you learn from them. And I think that's a true testament to you as a person. And what do you think is the biggest failure you've had that you learned from, that other people can learn from?
The biggest failure, that's a good question, because I do have a section on my website called fails, and I do tell the story. Biggest failure, you know what, I'm going to be very general here, but I really think my biggest failure for myself, I think, goes back before kids, like before marriage, before kids. My biggest failure in my early 20s, and I did theater, and everyone that knew me would perceive, oh my gosh, she's so outgoing. My biggest fail was that I was not genuinely confident with myself, with the work that I would do, with the performances that I would do. I used to sing at, I used to perform musical theater, and I used to do the national anthem at like Dodger games and Laker games and all that. And every single time I would perform, I would walk off or go off camera, and I would just, in my head, beat myself up and say, oh, that could have been better. That wasn't good. You didn't do it. And that was a fail, general fail in itself that just really colored my work and affected the way that I thought about my work and career up until the time that I had babies. And for whatever freak reason, the second I had kids, it's like my perspective shifted, and I thought, okay, I am a mom first. I'm going to rock this. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to be resilient through all the things that I don't know how to do. And what I found was that I got confidence in that way through motherhood that has now spilled over into my work, where I don't beat myself. I mean, sometimes, you always have a bad show where you always have something that you're like, that could have been better, but it doesn't affect me in the way that it did. So I hope that makes sense.
No, it does. And I think part of, and I have not experienced pregnancy, but I think some of it is so much out of your control and so much of it is mysterious that you sometimes have to surrender to it and to that process.
Yes.
And I think that's a big thing for artists. Do you find that you've had to surrender to certain things just to let it be?
Yes, just let it be. The biggest lesson I think I've learned is you just have to. My favorite phrase says it all. What's meant to be will always find a way. And I used to so many of us that are type A or goal driven, we want to do this, and we want it to happen this way, that way, but you can't control it. And so once you sort of relinquish it and say, okay, I can't control it, what's meant to be is going to find a way. And if it's not meant to be, it's not going to happen. Once you relinquish that, it does give you freedom. And I think it makes you more confident and better. Oh my gosh, I should listen to this advice for what I was just talking about, my fear about when the book comes out.
Well, you
need to write a blog about that.
You can download it in a few hours.
You need to write a blog about that.
Ladies. What women want. This is what I want. This is so therapeutic.
I love it. Oh my God, you can come on every show. So the fabmom.com, your book is coming out, The Fab Mom's Guide, How to Get Over the Bump and Bounce Back Fast After Baby. And congratulations on everything you're doing, because you're a huge success, and you're teaching all of us moms, no matter if our moms are, honestly, if we just had babies or didn't, you're teaching a lot and you're putting a lot out there. I have so many more questions for you, but unfortunately we're running out of time.
Thank you.
So I was back after your book comes out, so because I have more questions about where you get your content and all kinds of stuff. So thank you so much for taking the time to come on the show. And again, fabmom.com, and good luck with the book. And I don't want to break this chain here, but I'm telling you, I think every single author that's been on my show before the book comes out has been a bestseller. So you know what? Let's just get in mind and let's make that happen again.
From your mouth to God. Yes. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Jill. We'll talk to you soon. And now we have Ashlee Glazer. Kristin, you want to bring on Ashlee?
Yes, Ashlee is an amazing makeup artist. She has been doing the covers of some amazing wedding magazines. She was also just coming back from the Academy Awards, where she did the makeup for Georgina Chapman and Rachel Zoe, and she is a celebrity makeup artist and beauty expert. And so I am so happy to have her on. Welcome to the show, Ashlee.
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on, Ashlee. So I have to ask you, how do you get to be who you are? How did you start off in makeup?
I've always loved doing makeup since I was a little kid. Anyone that would let me basically touch them with an eyeshadow brush since I was like 8 or 10 years old. I've just always absolutely loved it. And I started working in the industry when I was about 19 at like a local hair salon, and then I worked retail for a couple of years, and I just sort of always I talked to everyone. And the more I would talk to people, the more I would tell them what I did, and started building up clients and weddings, and then that turned into some celebrities, and I've had the really fun past couple of years.
Well, did you experiment on your friends?
Yeah, I'm very thankful to all my friends for letting me curl their eyelashes when we were 15 years old. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't know how to do it. Letting me experiment.
Well, you must have had some brave friends in those early years, but I mean, the practice must have paid off. How do you define beauty? What makes beauty happen for you? What do you try to achieve with your makeup?
It's the woman. I think the most beautiful part about my job is making somebody feel really, really good about themselves, and the payoff I get when I see a client look in the mirror, whether she's going on the red carpet or she's attending, an engagement party or winning an award for, in her career, or giving a speech, that confidence that doing somebody's makeup can bring out is my most favorite part of my job. Besides, it's not about the colors that we use or the textures. I mean, that's all really fun to get to play and do different, glitters and cat eyes and stuff. But making the woman feel so beautiful and knowing that is in my hands is what's my most favorite part of all these years, is the reward that I get.
I was looking over your work, and that's actually what I saw shine through, is that you really saw the woman. You didn't see you saw the makeup, but the makeup didn't look like the woman was a canvas for the makeup. It was just like the makeup was there to enhance the woman. And I find that's really refreshing, especially as you go down the beauty aisles at the store. You see all these phantasmagorical shades and all these different textures. It's hard to know what's going to suit you.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot out there. So my best advice is, clients are always texting or calling. I'm in Sephora, what should I buy? It's try it, and whatever makes you feel the most beautiful is always the one that you should go with. I mean, foundation, you need to match your color, but eyeliner and lipstick and eyeshadow, you should always just have fun and, feel the most beautiful that you can. That's always my best advice to everyone.
So if I'm busy and I am running out the door to an important appointment, and I don't have time to grab every piece of makeup I want, what should I absolutely have in my purse?
Well, that
eyelash
that
curler.
clutch that you guys were talking about earlier sounds so cool. I'm gonna have to look that up. That face is beautiful with the magnets. That sounds
Isn't
so cool.
That wild?
Honestly, it sounds amazing.
I couldn't believe it until I had it in my hands. And I
wonder what's in it to see, but I would say, like, if you only have 5 minutes, you really want to focus on skin, brows, lashes, and lip, and pick a color for your lip that, like, a creamy stain that you can also use on your cheek as a blush. Like, multifunctional products are going to save you time. Like, I love a CC cream for every day for women because it has your SPF, your skincare, your color correction, and they're really hydrating. So you can just blend it on super easy, 2 minutes with your hands, brush out your brows, put on mascara and like a lip color. You just want to like kind of polish off all of the points. And then when you get some more time later on, you can, add a little bit more smoky eye or smudge out the liner that you did in the day. I love products that you can use throughout the day that you can build up on, because who has the time? Nobody has the time. I live in New York City. I take about 4 minutes to get myself ready in the morning. So you have your staples. And then once you can like master your staples is when it's time to like have fun and experiment with the other stuff.
For me, it's the eyelash curler, man. I cannot walk out of the house. I don't care what I have on my face or my body. I look like I'm so tired and just, done already when I'm walking out the door in the morning if I don't have my eyelashes curled.
It does. It does certainly wake up the eyes, and it's something that I always use on my clients. I personally actually stopped curling my own lashes just because I felt like they were getting too curly, but I have really curly hair, so I think that's why. But for most women, I always use it on my clients, and I'll do a check first to see before I put on the fake eyelashes, because sometimes then they bounce off. But lash curling and mascara is like essential. Like, I don't know how women ever leave home without putting on mascara. If you're going to do one thing.
Now, let's talk about the red carpet, because you just got back from the Oscars. How was that? What was that experience like?
I just got back from LA. One of my best clients is Georgina Chapman. She's the co-founder of Marchesa, the beautiful couture dress line. And this was my 4th year going out there for her to do her makeup. She is on the red carpet every year. Her husband's film was nominated this year. And it's so fun. It's really become we're like a family. Now I've been doing it the past 4 years, and it's just such a fun day. We get ready super early, and the E! News red carpet is on in the background, and like there's diamonds and there's jewels and there's champagne, and it's everything that you would imagine. It's super, super fun. And this year I prepared her for the pre-party, and she tried on like all these different gowns that she was maybe going to wear. So we did a little fashion show, and then I got really inspired from the texture and the collection that she was wearing about how I was going to do her makeup the next day, which was really exciting. And then I did another one of my clients, celebrity stylist, now turned designer, Rachel Zoe, for the after parties. Well, so 2 very stylish women. It was really fun. And their moms as well. I was listening in on Jill's conversation, and it's so inspiring. All of my clients are super strong, powerful women, and they're all moms. So it's really cool to see them in mommy mode, and then see them in business mode, and then see them on the red carpet. And it's just to be behind the chair and get to make them glamorous is so fun.
Well, that's an amazing experience that you've had the opportunity to do that 4 times. It kind of sounds like the Super Bowl of beauty, and I know that I'm sure your makeup for her got photographed intensely. Is there a way you go about doing when you sit down with a client and you kind of behold them for the first time? What do you focus on when you see that person for the first time?
For the first time, I like to sort of just chat with them for a few minutes and get to know them and get to know their personality and ask them what it is they do every day, what their personal style is, like get a feel for who they are as a woman, just sort of going back to that bringing out the beauty of the person. And then that sort of gives me a vibe of what I'm going to do. Like, of course, I assess their features. If they have beautiful blue eyes and I'm going to want to really bring them out, or if they have have stellar cheekbones. I'm going to want to make sure I sculpt and highlight them properly. But I really sort of get a feel for who they are, where they're going that night, what they're doing, what they're wearing, and then just kind of bring the whole environment into the makeup for their look.
So how many brides have you done?
Oh my gosh, I wish I counted. I would say I do at least one every weekend throughout the year. So there's 52 weeks in the year, so there's one per week. I've probably done over 500, I think, or more. I've been doing predominantly weddings for over 10 years. And then the celebrity stuff kind of just started a little bit more for me, maybe 4 years ago. And I'm still doing a ton of brides.
Kristin,
so
you know me.
I've been in a lot of wedding parties in the morning. I haven't been a bride yet, but I am a professional bridesmaid.
Kristin, you know me. I want to hear about who's had the breakdowns and have there been any major dramas in that whole bridal? I can just see you finishing finally the face of someone. It took an hour and a half, 2 hours, or whatever it was, and all of a sudden they break down crying because the groom has left or something. I don't know. Oh
gosh, I haven't had anybody where that's happened, thank God. But I learned a lot of body language in the past years, and if I see the tears or if I see they need a moment, I just say, please go take a walk, go outside, take your moment. I build in cushion time for that happening, so that way they don't mess up their lashes. And I'll say, I'll do your makeup when you're done. It's a stressful day, there's a lot of hormones, there's a lot of stress, and there's just a lot going on. So one of my best tips to my brides also is to, if you have the budget for it, or if not, try and get ready in a separate room. Have one room that's designated just to yourself, so that way you can do your hair and makeup alone and your friends can come and visit you, because it gets very overwhelming. I mean, I've seen a lot of things, but it's really amazing. You're really part of someone's most intimate moment on their most important day of their life, with all these different families. And I have brides that now have had babies, and, their sisters have gotten married, and I've worked with them for so many years. So it's really nice. It's a really special relationship that I've built with a bunch of them.
Well, that's an amazing tip, because I know I'm a klutz, and I fear getting makeup on white dresses. And I probably need a little personal room all of my own that fateful day I decide to get married.
Kristin, you're going to need a bridesmaid for hire.
I am going to need bridesmaid for hire. I definitely am going to need bridesmaid for hire.
Tell her about who you interviewed last week.
Last week we interviewed
Jen
Glantz, and she is a professional bridesmaid. So she's not you can hire her to be a bridesmaid. And
I've heard of her actually through the wedding circuit. I've heard of her.
Right, and she has this amazing service where she's basically like the bride's personal assistant. And for people who have very involved lives, or who need extra emotional support, or may not have family and friends who can fulfill that role for them, she does it professionally, and she has a huge following.
That's amazing. I mean, it's really amazing. I have girls that have said, if I feel like I gained an extra bridesmaid with you, or you really helped me get through that hard moment, before I walk down the aisle, and you don't even realize it. You're just being a supportive, girl, woman to woman. You're like, hey, have a drink. Do you need some wine? I'm always like, do you need some wine? Right. Hair and makeup always knows, how to have a good time. So I'm always like, take a breath, let's have a drink, and you'll be fine.
Well, your makeup artist is probably your last person that you see before you go out and are presented publicly. And I'll tell you, I had someone doing my hair for an award show, and hair and makeup for an award show, and he really calmed me down. Do you have any tips for a
psychological background?
Right, psychological.
I don't have a psychological background, but people would always say, I think people feel, I think your client, and even myself as a woman going to get my hair done, you feel comfortable. It's like the human touch, that human to human connection, like someone's touching your hair, or your makeup artist is touching your face and looking directly into your eyes, and you build this trust with them that I think relaxes you, and at the same time makes you feel feel really open, that you can speak to them about maybe things that you wouldn't tell your maid of honor or your mom in the room, or, you know, or your boyfriend at home, like just things you open up to your hairdresser. I mean, we all know if you have a gay male hairdresser, he knows more about your life than anybody else. So, like, I definitely think that there is a psychological component that comes into play in our business, and, you know, being a makeup artist and a hairstylist.
Is there any work you've done that you're particularly proud of? Any editorial spreads? Anything? If we wanted to see you at your finest, where could we find that?
Well, you can check out everything on my Instagram. Would be the most current at Ashlee Glazer. This past weekend at the Oscars, I think, was one of my most favorite makeups I've done of my client Georgina. And then there's stuff on my website, ashleeglazer.com, that has a lot of my bridal work. And then I've done some TV spots doing demos and explaining on live television, you know, how-to. So I was recently just on Wendy Williams, and I've been on the Today Show a few times. I think those are really fun because I get to share my beauty tips like live in the audience, so people can really see what's happening in real time, as opposed to just looking at a photo and trying to figure it out for themselves.
Yeah, that's how I discovered her, Kristin. I saw her on Facebook Live. You were terrific.
Thank you so much. Yeah, those are really fun, and that's something new I've been doing this past year, and it's been an incredible ride so far, and I'm excited. It's fun to get to share my knowledge of the behind the scenes with, you know, women every day who may not have the luxury of or the need to have their makeup done all the time, but to learn the tips and tricks that we do backstage and on the red carpet that they can incorporate into their regular lives.
How brave do you have to be to go in front of a studio audience and do makeup? Usually, your business is mostly one-on-one. How do you prepare for that?
Yeah, I just have a really good team that supports me and has trained me, and I just, you know, they tell you it's just you and the host. It's just like Judy was like, we're just chatting girlfriends on the phone. So the last time when I was on Wendy Williams, and I'm actually a huge fan of her show, I kind of forgot that there was an audience, because all the other times I've just been a studio, and then like the night before I was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be a complete live audience. So it was such a rush. It was an adrenaline rush, and I definitely have gone skydiving, and I'm a scuba diver, and I love to sit in the front row on the roller coasters. So I enjoy the natural high. So it was really fun.
Kristin, I know what you do. You just don't have too many cups of coffee if you're a makeup artist.
Oh, yeah, no coffee, and I don't eat before I go on, but afterwards I have a huge breakfast.
Oh, you don't eat either? Wow.
No, I'll have something small. I just get, a little nervous, and they're usually so early in the morning at 7 or 8 in the morning.
I know I'm really careful. I know I'm really careful before I do something that's live, or I have to really check in with myself. Are you hungry? Are you not hungry? What can you stand to eat? What can't
Yeah,
you?
I'll have a piece of toast and a cup of tea, and then that's it. And then after, I'm usually ravenous, and I'll have a huge breakfast. And my very first time I ever went on the Today Show, one of my models was one of my dear friends, and she was actually my first boss. That she was my hairdresser, and she opened a salon, and she brought me in as the receptionist. And then I started doing makeup at her shop when I was 20 years old, and she was my model on the Today Show. And then afterwards, her and her husband took me out for lunch, and we had a bottle of wine, and we had food, and it was so memorable. I'll never forget that. It was just so fun. So I celebrate after.
And drink your caffeine after. I remember the first time when I drank too much caffeine, and I was going on a live segment, and I didn't know what was wrong with me, because I typically don't get nervous just because I've done it so much. And I realized afterwards, what happened, that I had too much caffeine. And so I realized, like you said when you have to get to the studio 5 a.m. or whatever it is, and then you don't go on till 7 a.m., all you do is just sit there and you drink coffee waiting in the green room, and it's a big mistake.
I'm actually not a huge coffee drinker to begin with, so I don't miss it as much. I've never been a crazy coffee drinker. I'll have it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but not really in the morning. I'm a weirdo. I have been doing more hot water with lemon, which I read Jessica Alba has every morning, and I know it's supposed to be really good for your skin, so I've been trying to make my skin better from the inside.
So besides makeup supplies, are there any like just, the traditional lipsticks, eyeshadows, blushes. Is there any sneaky supply in there? Some women have petroleum jelly in their makeup kits. So what is there any weird supply that you have that you could share with us?
Good question.
I always have like a supply bag I have tape, which is really great for removing glitter or anything that's like kind of really stuck on there, or shimmer, anything like that, Scotch tape. I have Visine, which not only does it reduce redness, of course, eye drops, but it helps to get rid of redness if you have a breakout. Nail polish remover is really good. The acetone is really great for flattening a blemish.
Visine for breakouts? What?
Visine for the redness.
Okay, for the redness of the eyes. I thought you said
redness in the breakout.
Oh, for breakout.
Acetone, like the nail polish remover pads that they sell at the drugstore. Not the you can get the bottle as well, but they sell mini bottles. But the acetone ones, that flattens out a blemish. That's really great to carry. I always have, lip balm and creams like that. I love the Elizabeth Arden 8-hour cream is something really great, and regular Vaseline, because you can kind of use it all over if people get chapped or dry anywhere. What are some other ones? Ooh. I always keep tampons and Advil and Band-Aids, because you never know what somebody might need when you're out on the go. And sometimes I find those are the things that somebody will remember about me more, or that makeup artist.
To carry a flask if you're doing a lot of bridal,
Oh, yeah.
Makeup, right?
That I don't, but I guess I could. Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll have a liquor line, and then I'll be pushing that at my bridal parties. You never know.
Yeah, hey, you never do know. Right, Kristin, do you have any other awesome questions? We're almost running out of time. We have about a minute left, then we got to wrap up.
How do we find you online?
It's AshleeGlazer.com. It's AshleeGlazer, and on my Instagram at Ashlee Glazer. I'm super current about posting on my Instagram so much, and my website has a lot of stuff, and my email is up there, and you can message me. So Instagram is the best.
And do you have a regular schedule for going on Facebook Live, or we just have to watch you?
I don't. No, yeah, everything is sort of, it's my schedule. My life is crazy. So one day I'll have nothing, and this week I have, 4 things. So whenever, something comes up. Tomorrow I'm filming something for New York Live here in New York, and then I have some more stuff with the Today Show coming up later this month. So everything sort of pops up at the last minute, but I do post on Instagram when I'm going to be on places so that people can find out.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ashlee.
Thank you guys so much. This is so fun.
Oh my gosh, thanks for all your great tips. I was kind of a little worried about having a makeup artist on the show, only because you guys show what you do so much, and it was just so informative the way you explained it and rolled it all out for us, and very entertaining. But also, I learned a lot. Oh, you're welcome, and good luck with everything. And it's you're doing a lot of good out there.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. It was so fun. Hope to be back soon.
Definitely. It's our pleasure. Kristin, since I have this froggy voice tonight,
sure.
Why don't you tell them about International Women's Day next week? I'm so excited to have Kelly McNellis and Anne Choquette on the show.
Yes, we're going to have them next week when we have Women for One founder Kelly McNellis on our show with her millions of followers in 60 countries around the world. And Anne Choquette, former editor-in-chief of 17 magazine. Oh my God, I'm so excited about this. I was a regular reader of 17 and still occasionally do read, even though I'm not 17. It's all here on LA Talk Radio, or go to whatwomenwantradio.com for more information. And guys, thank you so much. Well, ladies, thank you so much for listening. And everyone, have a wonderful night. And you too, Judy.
And Kristin, you don't look very far from 17, so thank you for being my co-host.
Oh, thank you.
Good night, everyone.
You're listening to What Women Want with Judy Goss, only on LA Talk Radio.